Are you tired of trying to have a family dinner and the entire dinner is fighting, it's chaos, and your teenager is sitting there looking grumpy and angry? Over the next couple of minutes, we're going to talk about how to have a family dinner with your teens that doesn't suck.
Okay, so we thought it would be fun to have a practical conversation about dinner time. So
dinner time at our house is crazy.
It's a little bit crazy.
Right, so we've got two teenage sons. We've got a preteen daughter, and then we've got a 3-year-old daughter. So we're in the spot where like milk is still being spilt at almost every meal.
I can't wait for the meal where milk
frustrates me.
isn't spilt.
It just drives me nuts that at every meal a drink is going across the table, and we've got to clean it up.
We just keep wipes at the table.
And you can't be angry because that ruins the whole mood. But you're like, oh my goodness, why can't you? And that's half the time from our teenagers who are wrestling. So it's just so annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But dinner time is really important in our house. Our house is busy, probably just like your house, and with all of our kids going different directions. Not as much anymore as before, but still, it's a crazy, hectic season. We feel like dinner together is really important.
It's so important. And I think one of the greatest things that's come out of COVID is I've heard so many people talk to me about that.
They have more time.
They're actually doing family meals together, but we're getting asked. We're having these family meals, and it feels like we're pulling teeth. It feels like it's just frustrating, or people don't want to be there, and then that kind of creates this overall mood. And one person emailed me and said, "Man, we're trying to do these family dinners, and halfway through the dinner every night, everyone's kind of taking their plate and going back to their own rooms or their own spot in the house." So we thought we'd talk about how to have a family dinner that doesn't suck.
Okay, so we're not perfect, but it seems to work.
Did you hear that? She's not perfect. I'm so happy you've owned up to that. It's been a long journey to get you there. All right.
What I'm trying to say is what we're doing at supper time seems to work, so we thought we would share a couple of tips with you to have a dinner with your teenagers that doesn't suck. So the first thing would be involve them in the process. So our teenage boys aren't super interested in cooking or learning anything about food or how to work kitchen appliances. Maybe it's because you're not interested, but the girls love it. And so they're in the kitchen with me, we're going over recipes, we're cooking together, they're helping me, all the stools pushed up against the counter, so there's obstacles everywhere, but it's worth it to have the girls be a part of that. The boys don't mind setting the table though, and they like to, do the placemats and the dishes. And there's just something about giving them an ownership that they're a part of the dinner time process.
Yeah, even if it's a simple setting the table, which sounds like a chore, but really what's happening in that setting the table
we're chatting.
is chatting, and usually it's about what's for dinner, and Amber's like, well, it's this, and then the boy's like, oh, seriously, salmon again? She's like, no, this recipe doesn't.
This
it's not
salmon
horrible.
Doesn't suck.
Right, but it's the idea.
The salmon isn't terrible.
It's the idea of creating
that false positive negative that makes it sound good.
It's the idea of creating ownership, where they're actually engaged a little bit in how that experience is being shaped because they're involved in the process. Number 2 is actually really big, and it's actually the one I struggle with the most.
I was going to say, this rule is actually for you.
Probably. It's that no tech is allowed at the table.
No phones, no AirPods.
No AirPods, no phones.
No iPads, TV's off.
TV is off, which in all cases, Olivia's the most angry at us turning on TV.
She'll be on the floor
3-year-old
pitching a fit because we turn the TV off during dinner.
Because I don't want to do another dinner with Paw Patrols playing in the background. But tech distracts, right?
Yeah.
Tech, the biggest thing about tech is that you can be in a room but not present in the room, right? And so the idea is that if I want to engage with you at the dinner table and you're constantly looking at your phone or listening to music on your AirPods or watching Paw Patrol, then you're not actually engaged in the process. And so we actually have said it's all done, it's all gone. For the next 30 minutes, you got to put that. We actually put it on the island.
All the phones are on the island. They're all on the island.
And that's where it sits. And then we can actually engage each other in conversation.
Okay. The next thing that we do is
it's actually really fun.
It is pretty fun. We ask open-ended questions because
how many times you ask a teenager, "How was your day at school?" and this is the response: "Fine."
Fine.
Did anyone learn anything?
No.
Right? Are you in love with anybody? No. Right? You're like, whatever.
So
we've changed the open-ended questions.
We've come up with 2 truths and a lie. And
no, 2 truths. What? That's
just kidding. That's what Zachary said.
No, yeah.
We talk about 2 wins and a loss.
2 truths and a lie.
Because Zach said that this morning. So 2 wins and a loss. And so we go through each of the kids and they have to tell us 2 good things about the day and then 1 not so great thing about the day. And it gets them talking, it gets them thinking, and then they know that we're going to ask that, so they're already thinking about it before dinner time.
And truth is, for a season we stopped doing that. We just were just talking, and our kids actually said, "Can we bring that back?" Now it's funny because sometimes they, what's the win for the day? I made it to school. I'm like, well, that's not a win. That's expected.
That should just happen
right?
anyway.
So we have to dig a little bit. And it's like, oh well, I got my math homework done, and then we can dig. Like by saying that, I'm like, okay, well, how bad was it? What are you learning right now? It leads us into deeper conversations, right? Or definitely the loss is always something that's like, okay, like walk me through what happened there. Why did it suck that you tripped and fell in front of the whole class and your pants split, right? Like whatever. Like let's dig into it, right, and talk about it.
But moving into our next point, we try to keep things light. We try to not talk about things that would cause tension.
Yes.
So if they were in trouble that day or something happened, we
don't
bring that up at the dinner table. We try to keep our conversation light and fun, and we try to laugh, and we try to make it a good time.
Yeah, it's the dinner table for us. Number 4 is avoid high tension conversations. We intentionally don't do groundings or discipline at the dinner table. We discipline Olivia because sit on your seat.
Sit down. Olivia, come back to the table.
Zach, stop
Olivia,
rocking on your chair. I'm going to kill you if you rock your chair and you drop it another time.
Tyler rocks on his chair. He's never got 4 legs on the floor.
It's insane. But other than those kind of things,
Haley's
and also
perfect.
Eat all your meat, right?
Haley, finish your dinner. Haley, finish your dinner.
There are starving kids somewhere, and you need to finish your food because it's wrong. But we don't deal with high tension stuff like, hey, I got a phone call from the teacher today and you're doing really bad in math.
Not at the dinner table.
Or what happened, why did this take? We try to actually keep it high and energetic and fun.
Yeah. Okay, and the last thing
this
is my favorite. We love to discover new things. And that might be pressure on you, whoever the cook is, to come up with new ideas, but I'm talking about like this one time I bought a mixed bag of potatoes and there were white, red, and purple potatoes in there, and our kids had never tried a purple potato before. So we all tried the purple potato together, and then our kids pretend that they are judges on a cooking show and they rate food. So anytime I introduce a new recipe, which is usually salmon.
You have to be pretty thick-skinned on this one.
Listen, you do. You actually do. You can't get offended easily. But I'm determined to feed my family salmon because I think it's healthy, but my family hates it. And so I have tried how many salmon recipes? Like 100 salmon recipes. And every time I make salmon, everyone's like, what's for dinner tonight?
Maybe
and they
we
just
should find a new thing to eat.
Maybe.
Because they don't like it.
But when we try a new recipe, everyone gets to be the judge and tell us what they like about it and what they don't like about it. So we try to keep it new.
So listen, just in recap, here is the 5 different points. 1, involve them in the process before the dinner. 2, no tech at the table. 3, ask open-ended questions. 4, avoid high-tension conversations. And 5, discover new things together as a family.
So good luck at your dinner table.
Hope you had fun.